Hello and welcome guys, my name's Ace777 and I'll be doing a short rundown of the patch notes 6.17 because let's be honest, nobody likes to read these and watching a video is a lot easier. So let's jump right into it. In total there are 27 champions there that are getting some kind of changes, so I'll be listing them on the screen so you can check out which champions have been changed. And I'll start with the first one. First up is Annie. She gets a nerf to her R where Tibbers' bonus movement speed and attack speed after Annie dies decays 20% faster, so it will be harder for Tibbers to keep up with champions with gap closers or ranged champions. Second up is Ashe. Ashe is known to be a utility-based AD carry, but on last patch she was doing a lot of damage also, so they're nerfing that a bit. The duration on her Q goes down by 1 second, and the damage on her R is also going down on the first and second rank. Corki's getting a little bit of a buff where the movement speed he gains from his package no longer gets removed by attacking wards. Diana's getting a nice buff where the range on her E gets increased, so it will be easier for Diana to pull enemies closer or even more enemies closer to line them up for some more CC. Then Draven, he's getting a buff to his R where the mana cost of his R gets decreased by 20. This will help Draven in the early game when he has these longer skirmishes and runs out of mana. Now he may be able to do his ult where before he wouldn't be able to. The cooldown gets increased on rank 1 though by 10 seconds. On rank 2 is the same, and on rank 3 it actually decreases by 10 seconds. Evelynn is getting a nice buff in the early game. Her R cooldown goes down by 30 seconds on rank 1, which is actually a lot. It will help her ganks a lot in the early game. She will be ganking even more. It goes down by 20 seconds on rank 2 and 10 seconds on rank 3. Azriel's win rate isn't the best at the moment, so they're trying to fix that with some buffs on his passive. His attack speed per stack goes up from 10% at all levels to 10% at level 1, 12% at level 7, and 14% at level 13. Also the maximum attack speed is going up from 15% at all levels to 50% at level 1, 60% at level 7, and 70% at level 13, which is pretty nice. Gangplank has been a beast lately, and they're trying to fix that by decreasing his basic health by 40, which is actually a lot. His W removes Scurvy, gets a higher mana cost at all ranks. There's a bug fix on his E that's not that important. And his R gets a higher cooldown at rank 1 and rank 2. At rank 3 it will stay the same, 140 seconds. But on rank 1 it's an increase of 20 seconds, which is pretty big. And that will decrease his early game presence a bit. His damage is also going down on his R on all ranks. Then there's Gragas. He's getting some big nerfs. First of all, on his body slam, the cooldown gets increased. At rank 1 it gets 16 seconds, before it was 12 seconds on all ranks. So now it's 16 on first rank, 15, 14, 13, and then 12 on the last rank. There's also a bug fix in there. And then his R, that's the biggest nerf actually. Now it has a fixed travel time. So before, if Gragas would throw the barrel a lot closer to him, the barrel would almost instantaneously explode. Now it will always travel 0.55 seconds, which gives enemies more time to react. Chase is not seeing a lot of play lately, and they're trying to fix that. They're buffing his E. The mana cost is now 40 at all ranks instead of increasing. And his R, it will scale differently now. It's not 0.4 of his ability power, but 0.4 of his bonus attack damage now. There's also a bug fixed in there. Jhin is also getting a few changes. His W ratio goes down to 0.5 bonus attack damage. It came from 0.7, but the damage versus monsters and minions goes up. It goes up to 75%, coming from 65%. There are also some changes to Jhin's R. The missing health damage goes up to 2.5% for every percent of missing health of the enemy instead of 2%. The minimum damage per shot goes down though. It goes down 10 at rank 1, 25 at rank 2, and 40 at rank 3. Also, the ratio gets decreased to 0.2 bonus attack damage. Also, the maximum damage per shot gets decreased. It gets decreased 10 at rank 1, 25 at rank 2, and 40 at rank 3. And also the bonus attack damage ratio gets decreased from 0.75 to 0.7. Curtain Calls no longer receives a 10% cooldown refund for unused shots. So when Jin now cancels his ult, he won't get the part of the cooldown refunded because of not shooting a few shots. And then enemies will now have an indicator of the max range of Curtain Call. Jinx gets a buff to her R. The minimum ratio of her R goes from 0.1 to 0.15 bonus attack damage. The maximum ratio goes from 1 to 1.5 bonus attack damage. Kennen gets a few changes to his missile speeds. First of all, he gets an animation fix on his basic attack. But the basic attack missile speed also increases from 1600 to 1700. And then his W, the empowered attack missile speed, gets decreased from 1800 to 1700, so it's the same as his basic attack missile speed. Then to Kled, Colorblind now changes the color of Skarl's health bar. That's not gonna make much difference. Malphite's win rate decreased since last patch, so they're trying to fix that with a buff on his W. The cooldown on his W gets decreased by 2 seconds, which is pretty nice. The bonus armor gets increased by 5% at all ranks, which is also very good. And the active damage ratio goes from 0.1 bonus armor to 0.15 bonus armor. Morgana gets a little increased cost range on her black shield. It goes from a cost range of 750 to 800, just a minor buff. Orianna's getting some nice buffs this patch. Her R cost is now fixed at 100 mana, and the cooldown is decreased by 10 seconds at all ranks. Poppy is not seeing a lot of play lately. They're trying to fix that by increasing her movement speed by 5, and they're also buffing her W a bit, and now it has 15% bonus armor and magic resist instead of 12. Rek'Sai is getting a few big nerfs. She's getting a nerf to her E, where the cooldown at earlier ranks is being increased. At rank 1, the cooldown is actually 6 seconds longer, which is a lot considering you max out this ability last. Also, the cooldown on her R is going up by 30 seconds at all ranks, which is also pretty big. Riven is getting some nice buffs this patch. She gets a minimum and maximum damage increase on her R. Her minimum damage gets increased by 20 on the first rank, 30 on the second rank, and 40 on the third rank. And also the maximum damage is increased, 60 on the first rank, 90 on the second rank, and 120 on the last rank, which is pretty decent. Ryze is in a pretty bad spot since the rework, and they're trying to fix that by buffing his R a bit. The range is going up from 1500 to 1750 on the first rank. I don't know if that's gonna help him much, but we'll see. For Sivir, there will also be a few nerfs. She gets a nerf on her W, where the bonus attack damage ratio goes down on all ranks. And her attack speed that she gains from her R while using Ricochet also goes down. 10% on rank 1, 15 on rank 2, and a whole 20% on rank 3, which is also pretty big. And Thresh is getting a nice buff in his R. He gets a cooldown decrease by 10 seconds on rank 1, 20 seconds on rank 2, and a whole 30 seconds on max rank, which is really good. You probably will see a lot more Thresh. Trundle is getting a change to his E, where the cooldown at rank 1 goes down by a second, but at rank 3, 4, and 5, the cooldown is actually increased. Vayne is not having the best win rate at the moment, so they're buffing the ratio of total attack damage on her Q. It goes up at later ranks, and at max rank it's an increase of 0.2, which is pretty substantial. Vigorden is getting a buff to his passive, where he gains 5 ability power on kill or assist instead of 3, and a minor bug fix on his event horizon. Then last but not least, Vi is getting a few nice buffs. She's getting a cooldown decrease on her passive at earlier ranks, and also a cooldown decrease on her Q. It's a 2-second decrease on rank 1, which will help her on those early ganks. Also, the knockback duration is now fixed at 0.7 seconds. Also, her E now gives you 2 stacks immediately when you level up the first time, and that will help Vi in her first clear, of course. That was all for the balance changes of this patch. There are also some splash updates for Cyan, Barbarian Cyan, Hextech Cyan, Lumberjack Cyan, and Warmonger Cyan get a splash art update. There's also a change to turrets. Before, when an enemy was under your turret but you were not in range of your turret, an enemy could just attack you and the turret won't focus him. Now that has changed. Champions within enemy turrets attack range now draw turret aggro when attacking enemy champions within 1400 range of the turret. So you don't have to be under in turret focus yourself. When an enemy is in turret focus and attacks you, he will still get attacked. Also, when a turret switches focus because there is no other targets to attack, he will now attack the closest champion instead of just picking a random champion. Then there are some bug fixes. You can read this for yourself. I'm not gonna go over all of them. And there are also some new upcoming skins. There's Arcade Ari, Arcade Corki, I think he's looking pretty cool, and Arcade Ezreal. And to finish off with, there are also some new chroma skins coming. There are chroma skins coming for Arcade Misfortune, Cottontail Teemo, I think he's looking pretty cool, Hainu Yasuo, and there's Shockblade Zed. I think he looks awesome in yellow and red. And then there's Warren's Kingdom Xinzao chroma skin. So that was all for these patch notes, guys. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please leave a like or subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.